Hi everyone, it's Britt here. I thought I'd better come on and do a post FFS update. So my last video was, I think, the day before I went in for my surgery. And so today is Saturday, I don't even know what the date is, the 28th, I think. And so this is 17 days post-op. So here we go. So I've playing around with a bit of makeup, but I'm still not that good at it. But anyway, so this is my result, 17 days post-surgery. So I still have some swelling. If you're interested in some more photos and images between then and now, jump over to Reddit, Brittany48 on Reddit, and I've posted up a whole bunch of photos there where I was quite bruised and quite swollen. So I still have some slight bruising. Makeup's doing a wonderful job trying to cover it, but all in all, it's gone really well. 17 days. I'm really pleased, and to be honest, my expectations have probably have been exceeded from what I thought was going to happen. So a couple of things. My surgeon is Dr. Robert Knight. He works out of both Wollongong and Sydney, so you can find him online. Dr. Robert Knight, absolute magician. I'm so happy with what he's done with what I asked him to do, and he did a bit extra as well. I'm not sure on my last post how much, I can't recall how much detail I put in there, but what happened was just before I went into surgery, he came in to speak to me before the anaesthetist had started to lower me down and put me out. He came in and we just did like a final check, and he drew some lines and things with texture where he was going to do incisions and so on. And he said to me then, he said, "Oh, do you mind if I take some fat from your abdomen?" I said, "Oh, what's that for?" He said, "That's for the fat grafting I'm going to do in your face." And I kind of went, "Oh, I don't remember us talking about that, but please explain," because I don't know if I mentioned this as well. Bit of brain fog. I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be getting too many noticeable differences outside of my brow and my neck. But then he started talking about this fat grafting. I said, "Okay, what does that mean?" He says, "Well, I'm going to inject fat into your lips, into your cheeks, under your eyes, and in the main lines in your face." I'm like, "Oh, that sounds wonderful." And honestly, all of the nerves and all of the worry I had just drifted away, and I just thought, wow, that's really cool. I'm hopefully going to look really nice at the end of this. So yeah, that was really cool. That was an unexpected bonus, and in all the quotes and everything, that wasn't written down, so I don't know if that was a little freebie for me. Anyway, so Dr. Knight, I had my surgery in Wollongong Private Hospital. So Wollongong is a city south of Sydney. Remember, I'm in Australia. And it was wonderful. Now, I was only in for one night, believe it or not. I went into surgery at around 11 a.m. on the 11th, and I checked out at 10 a.m. the next morning. I was quite amazed, to be honest with you. I thought I'd be in for at least 2 nights, but it was pretty much in and out, to be honest with you. The staff, the nurses there were absolutely amazing. They were so good. My recollection, sorry, I've got an itchy nose. My recollection is I woke up from surgery and it was a nice, peaceful wake up, not like my stomach surgery when I woke up and I was panicking because I thought I was paralysed. I'd mentioned that to the anaesthetist, so he brought me out a bit slower, and I was under for nearly 9 hours. The surgery was about 9 hours long. And I remember just peacefully waking up and thinking, oh, okay, I'm awake. But then I had all these bandages around my face, completely covering my ears. And to be honest with you, looking back now, that was probably the most difficult part, having those bandages on, because I had them on for 3 days. It doesn't sound long, but they wash your hair as much as they can to get all the blood and ooze and whatever else out of it. It's not very pleasant, but anyway, they do their best to wash your hair, and they put it up in a top ponytail, and then wrapped my head up. So there was still a bit of residual dried blood and stuff, so it was in my ears, and so as it dried, it got itchy, but I couldn't scratch it because I couldn't get to it, and I felt quite claustrophobic. Sleeping in it was next to impossible. It was so difficult to sleep. And beyond that, those first 3 days was pretty difficult. The second biggest thing that I don't want to say struggled with, but it probably was the right word to use, is sleep. I've actually now just started to sleep a bit better in the last 3 nights, only because now I can put my head on the side. I like to switch positions during the night, back side, roll out, other side, you know. And normally, so I'll wake up or partially wake up, roll over and go back to sleep. But because I couldn't do that, I couldn't get any real comfort, so I was awake. So I was having stretches of an hour, hour and a half, and I'll be up for an hour, hour and a half. And anyway, so that's all hopefully in the past now. But yeah, so this is post-surgery, right? So what's happening still now, I can do my hair again, put my hair down, but I still have stitches through here, which kind of go into my ear. So, sorry, scarring from the stitches, which is healing. So from my facelift that I had, there was some stitching there, and there was some stitching all the way up around the back of my ear as well. So that's on both sides. You can see it's healing quite well. It's not too bad, and like just over 2 weeks, I think it's pretty amazing how well it's going. I have the big, from ear to ear over there, they're still in there. They're dissolvable stitches, and so, excuse me, this is the week I should see them start to dissolve. I already have actually started to see those, dissolve. Little bits of stitch keep falling out, and I've got another 2 rows of stitches in the back of my neck, and I've got another 2 rows of stitches closer to the hairline up here. That's all from the facelift. I did have an incision here. I had stitches across my chin. They came out when these came out, and as you can see, that's healing nicely. My neck still needs to settle a little bit. It's still a little bit lumpy under here, but you can see the difference from where it was to where it is now. It's night and day. And again, if you go into Reddit, you'll see a side-by-side photo of a picture I took about 3 or 4 days before surgery and a picture I took yesterday. It's amazing. And I sent that to my surgeon, and he said, "Do you mind if I use this?" I went, "Absolutely. Like, you're a magician. Like, do what you need to do with it. I'm more than happy." So that's, you can clearly see the physical change. Mentally, if you're thinking about FFS, just from my experience, again, I only talk from my experience, I really prepared mentally for the recovery. The surgery itself is really nothing to fear, because you're out, you don't know what's going on. Sure, it's a bit scary going in, and you wake up and you've got bandages and things, but I honestly didn't have any pain at all. Like, no more than a headache. And for I feel the results that I've achieved, a headache is a small price to pay. I was on a course of a lot of pain medication, that obviously, and what I did, or what my wife did, was charted it up on a whiteboard in the kitchen, the different medications that I had to take, the times of the day I had to take them, and the frequency. And so every time I took them, we just ticked them off so we could keep a really clear track of where I was, because one of the recommendations from the surgeon was make sure you take your medication. Even if you don't feel like it, just take it anyway, because it'll cap off those peaks. Whereas if you're not feeling like it, you're feeling okay, you don't take it, and all of a sudden that spikes, it's a further way to come down to control that pain again. So I followed the instructions to the T. I was on like Endone, Celebrex, Polexia, all sorts of cool stuff. And it did make me pretty spacey. So that first couple of days home from surgery, my wife took time off. She was on holidays from work, and we took the kids down to my in-laws, so they didn't need to see me in the state that I was in. And I was pretty groggy and pretty tired, and you're kind of like in this state of limbo. You're not really awake, you're not really asleep. It reminds me of that scene in Fight Club. But yeah, you're not. You're just kind of just drifting through and counting down the days till when you start to feel better. The bandages coming off was like, it was the most relieving feeling. And then I had to wear a brace, like this head brace with Velcro straps, to sort of hold everything in place for the first 2 weeks. I still have to wear that at night time for another 4 weeks. Yeah, so there we go. What else can I tell you about? Just an overwhelming sense of, I don't know, alignment. This is still carrying on with the mental preparation. It's really confronting, especially when you're really swollen and bruised. You look like a completely different person. Nothing to do with what the end result's going to be. That's just a piece of in time that it's a bit confronting. And I really tried to avoid mirrors. I was trying to just navigate around. We still live in this small unit while the house is being built, but I tried to avoid mirrors as much as I could, but curiosity got the better of me, and I kept looking. Fast forward to now, I can't stop looking in mirrors because I'm so pleased with my results. So just to quickly recap what procedures I had done. I had a brow shave, so my brow bone was shaved, my forehead contoured, the eye sockets orbital contouring, so the bones in here were contoured as well. I had a neck and face lift, a lot of liposuction around the neck to take out any excess fat, remembering that I had weight loss surgery a couple of years, almost 2 years ago, and so I had a lot of loose skin and stretched muscles and things from when I was really heavy, so that was part of the process. And as I said before, the fat grafting in the various areas of my face. So what's next? The next revision will be my tracheal shave. I couldn't get that done during this procedure because the skin was pulled back because of the facelift. He couldn't do that because to do the tracheal shave, they make an incision about here and go in and do that work. So that wouldn't have healed because of the tension and because of the brace and everything. So he said, look, let's just wait and see. It's not too bad. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but still, it's there, especially if I turn my head to the side and talk, it's definitely there. So that's the revision. And then we'll go on and look at bottom surgery and breast augmentation and that type of thing afterwards. But so this is 17 days. There's still plenty of time, plenty of months to go for more healing. I get that. I'm probably going to change a bit more. Things will just slightly change proportionately. I may get some Botox in my forehead to help with the creases and things, but let's let this surgery heal first. So, all right, so there you have it. That's my post-facial feminization surgery update. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments. And somehow I managed to click over 100,000 views on my content in the last couple of weeks too, so that's just been awesome. So thank you for everyone who's followed me on my journey so far. It's not over yet. I do apologise it's taken me so long to make this video. As I said, if you have access to Reddit, go on there and you can find me at Brittany48, and I have been posting quite a bit since my surgery, warts and all, or should I say bruises and swelling, everything pretty in depth. So have a look if you've got the time. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.